Hi, it's Dwyer, GamblersAdvisory.com. Here to talk about a fight that I think the hardcore boxing fans should know about because I believe this is between two guys who really should be toward the top of any top 10 pound for pound. And that's Fernando Montiel, who's rated on BoxRec.com, BoxRec.com, as the world's number one bantamweight. That's the 118-pound weight class. And he's going up against the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. And he's number one at 115 pounds on BoxRec.com. And let me just say, that's one of my favorite sites. They don't get too caught up in all the hype of the alphabet soup organizations and their ratings. They have an independent rating system, and I know it's one I enjoy a lot. I hope you take a look at that site. Let me also point out that I don't have a financial interest in that site. I just look at it as a fan. Okay? The rumor is that Nonito Donaire is going to gain weight. He's going to gain 3 pounds to fight Fernando Montiel. And the guys have a common opponent. That common opponent was Rafael Concepcion. And Montiel fans like the fact that their man knocked out Concepcion early. Literally, had Concepcion in trouble early and finished the job, multiple knockdowns. Of course, when Concepcion fought Nonito Donaire, it was a subtler fight that Donaire ended up winning by decision. I think overestimating that fight would be a mistake. I think a better fight to look at is the 2007 fight between Zigores and Fernando Montiel. It took place in the Philippines. Very questionable refereeing. They deducted 2 points from Zigores. Interesting scoring. Montiel won a split decision. But what's important for us is the fact that Zigores is a fighter who shoots a jab, who has movement, kind of like counterpuncher Nonito Donaire. And it looked to me like Fernando Montiel had a problem dealing with the movement. In fact, if you look at Fernando Montiel, he has a very low center of gravity, very low. It's actually a strength and a curse at the same time. And if you look at how he loads up on punches, it's apparent not from his upper body, but from his legs. In other words, his style of fighting is very similar to heavyweight champion Vitaly Klitschko's. So I don't believe, given his balance, given how he gains leverage for punches, given how he moves, I don't think that Montiel can change his ability to come forward. I think Nonito Donaire in this fight is going to have a distinct foot speed advantage to go along with a distinct hand speed advantage to also go along with the better ability to use length in the fight. Make no mistake, even though Nonito Donaire is gaining weight or at least moving up a division to fight Fernando Montiel, he's actually the taller fighter. I think he can win this fight from distance, much like Amir Khan won his fight from distance against Andrei Kotelnik, a fight we predicted, right? Now, a fight I predicted. Okay, fair enough. Now, let me just say this, though. I believe your base bet here should be Nonito Donaire to win the fight, but I believe you need a straddle. My point to you is simply that just like in baseball, how an effective pitcher will hide his pitches. In other words, he won't tip whether he's throwing a fastball or a changeup or a curveball, right? Fernando Montiel doesn't tip whether he's throwing a hard punch, a soft punch, a right hand, or a left hand. Take a look at his fight against Hasegawa, an excellent defensive fighter, excellent defensive fighter who was fighting before his fans in Japan. And Hasegawa gets hit flush. Look where Hasegawa's hands are when he gets hit. Not only that, look where Rafael Concepcion's hands are when he gets hit by Montiel. My point to you is Nonito Donaire, a counterpuncher, is going to be trying to read Montiel's body and Montiel's leverage and his stance and everything like that. And just like Vitaly Klitschko is able to confound counterpunchers in the heavyweight division, Fernando Montiel has been able to do that at bantamweight, right? You can't read him. He's deceptive. What's striking when I look at the tapes of Montiel is that the fighters he's fighting literally don't know what he's throwing. He looks awkward. It's clear that it's impossible to prepare for him because his center of gravity is so low that it's very hard to find a sparring partner who can duplicate what it's like to fight Fernando Montiel in the ring. So fighters are looking at him, looking for clues, trying to figure out which punches are coming, trying to figure out whether he's loading up on punches. It's very hard to tell from his upper body because, of course, it's all in his legs. In other words, his upper body looks like he's just throwing softballs. You know that the punches are very hard because he has a career 70% knockout ratio, and because neither Hasegawa or Concepcion, his last two fights, made it to the end of the fourth round, right? Neither guy survived the fourth round. And so here, I believe that there is a possibility, and I want you to straddle it against Nonito Donaire to win the fight. There is a possibility that Fernando Montiel surprises all of us and gets a knockout on Nonito Donaire. I could easily see Donaire coming in, realizing that he has the physical tools, the height, the reach, the hand speed, all at the foot speed, all in his favor. I could easily see him starting to time Montiel, and that's when guys get in trouble because Montiel's style is geared to conquer a counterpuncher, right? If he's fighting a lead puncher, it's not a big deal because lead punchers, just like batters who swing at fastballs and curveballs and knuckleballs, the see it and hit it crowd, the Rocky Marciano, the Ricky Hatton crowd, they're just in there to see it and hit it, right? They would look at Fernando Montiel. They wouldn't spend too much time wondering if he has leverage to throw a powerful right hand or a left hand, right? But for a technician like Nonito Donaire, the real deal, a real deal boxer like Nonito Donaire, that kind of ambiguity, right? Fernando Montiel's ability to hide his intentions and what he's doing is very troublesome, extremely troublesome to a counterpuncher, right? The Floyd Mayweathers, the Nonito Donaires, that's the kind of thing that can trip them up. So to sum up, I like the Filipino Flash here. I like Donaire to win. That's my base bet. The straddle play would be Fernando Montiel by KO. I do not see Fernando Montiel able to beat Donaire by decision. I understand he went to the Philippines and he beat Z Gorez by decision. I don't see that happening here. Also, take a look at the scoring, and it's on BoxRec.com. Take a look at the scoring of the Hasegawa fight before the knockout. You'll see that because Fernando Montiel isn't blessed with blinding hand speed, he tends to start slow. He was losing that fight before the knockout. Here, I believe that Nonito Donaire can box his socks off for all 12 rounds. Right? If Donaire gets fooled, like many have, I could see Donaire getting knocked out in the fight too. What I can't see is Donaire getting outboxed. So I like Donaire to win, straddled against Montiel by KO. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments for me here on YouTube. Leave your comments at Gamblers Advisory, and visit our gamblersadvisory.com page on Facebook. Thanks for watching.